A multi-man tag team match right now. I mean, Ricochet, who's looking to climb the ranks here in AEW. Maybe.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Ring. We are here to talk about NXT versus AEW. This is the Turnbuckle King here. We are here to discuss who won the Close Wrestling Ratings War, which show took it to the top. We are comparing both shows as usual, as we do every week. You guys get the like button as you come into the ring. And we're going to compare the two shows, go over the viewership like we normally do, go over key highlights of both shows and upcoming events of both NXT and AEW Dynamite. Let's see what's going on and then talk about everything. Very busy week. But before we do get anywhere else, let's do one simple thing. And you guys already know where I'm going.
Welcome to the button, a speed.
Ooh, that's like a sucker. Oh boy, more spinning. What's it gonna be? Uh-oh. What?
That's right, double tap as you come in. But before we begin, we are here live on Facebook and X as usual. You guys get the likes up over there, put the hearts up, do what you do over there on Facebook and X. We're also covering over there as well as YouTube. Appreciate you all coming out. But before we begin, let's see who came into the ring. Let's see who came in. Let's see what's going on here. Brutally Honest Goodbread, salute to you. And we got Mr. Approach Apple Channel. Salute to both of you guys, longtime supporters of the Red Carpet Ring. But let's talk about both shows. First off, we're going to go over NXT viewership. So, NXT viewership, we'll go over that right now. Let's cover that, shall we? Now, NXT viewership, we know that the ratings have went up. This was CM Punk being on the episode. He was here to make a huge announcement. And, of course, if you guys cover NXT, you know that he is a special guest referee for the October 1st edition for NXT debuting on the CW network, if you guys have not remembered already. But with that being said, he'll be in a NXT championship match between the challenger, Trick Williams, versus the champion, Ethan Page, All Ego. So he was there to make that special announcement. He was in two different segments. Let's see how the race came out. Now, we see for NXT, they actually did well. They came in at a whooping 677,000 for the week. Now, it was up. It was 628,000 the previous week. And it said that it was an increase. It said the demographic was 0.2, and it's up from the 0.19 rating. So NXT, pat yourselves on the back for that one. And I think that deserves not just a yeet, it deserves a super chant.
Yeet, delete, yes, we believe in Joe Hendry. Suck it. Woo! What? Yeah.
So yes, NXT definitely brought it in. Good numbers there, very good numbers. Salute to them. Salute to all the team of Shawn Michaels and the whole writing and production team. Definitely a good one. So we get, if you guys don't know, when it's just not just a yeet, it's a super chant, we pull that super chant in. And that is the Hardy Boys there. I appreciate that, Mr. Approach. Brand new thing I'm doing. So in case, remember, if you want to, for example, super chat, and you want that as me to play, I call it a super chant, it will be that, because they chant pretty much every catchphrase you could think of in wrestling. But it was very good having CM Punk on this episode. Let's go over the highlights of NXT. Let's go over the highlights once again. Now, this was the card here. If you guys remember, this was the card advertised for NXT. These are matches that were advertised. These are segments, everything that was included for NXT for the weekly episode. So with that being said, it was definitely some good moments there. Very, like I said, the show wasn't the top of the list, one of the best ever, but it was definitely a solid one. And we gotta remember they are building up for the NXT, not just the October 1st. They're definitely setting up for the October 8th episode. CM Punk will be on October 1st, and Randy Orton will be on October 8th. Remember, you got him too. And I'm going to talk about that too, a comparison. But let's get back to the card here. These are the cards here. Now, we had a very good match of Lyra Valkyria. She had a very good tag team match with Tatum Paxley. They won that match in a winning effort. Then, of course, Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander, they had a good tag team. They definitely think. But it was a very good episode, very solid episode. Like I said, I'm not gonna say it was trash. I'm not gonna say it was the best, but it was very solid. I liked it. Definitely liked the episode. Like I said, the viewership showed otherwise. Now people saying, "Oh, CM Punk was there. CM Punk was there." Here's the thing: CM Punk did not wrestle in this episode. I'm gonna say that again. CM Punk did not wrestle. He was in 2 segments. He was actually in the middle of the show between Roxanne and Julia. Remember, he got in the middle of that segment. And of course, he was there for the main event, which was the whole Trick Williams and Ethan Page. He was there for 2 important segments. Let's not forget about that. He was there letting everybody know he is a special guest referee. Follow his command. That's how things are going to go. Like I said, there was no wrestling by CM Punk. The fact he was there just physically, not wrestling, it still shows a big difference in viewership. Definitely shows that. So we cannot deny that 1 minute. We can't deny that. He definitely did his thing. Like I said, it's not like he was a main event or anything. Main segments, yes. Big segments, yes, but not the main event wrestling match. Now we gotta remember that these are the 2 segments he was here for. That's all it came down to. I mean, honestly, if he had wrestled, the viewership would have been close to 1 million, if not 1 million, over. Tell me what I'm telling lies.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
But definitely, it was a good one. You say NXT at CM Punk, yeah, but he, like I said, not in a non-wrestling appearance. You think that really? Yeah, not wrestling. His mic is must see though. You said his mic is must see. Yeah, we can't wait to see what CM Punk gonna do. Like I said, he's gonna be special guest referee. But these were good highlights, and of course, NXT can hold on their own 2 legs. I said this before. They do not need major stars from main roster, whether it's legendary people, current champions, to be on NXT every week. NXT has figured it out. They figured it out already. They got it. I don't think they need a major person from main roster every week to be on the show. They have some people like Lyra Valkyria, but I'm talking about major stars like CM Punk or The Undertaker or John Cena or a Roman. They don't need that. They're solid. I like the way they're doing it. And that deserves the yeet.
Yeet.
So that's how that particular thing goes. But NXT definitely great show. Let's move forward. Let's go on to AEW. They came on Wednesday night. Now AEW, let's talk about their viewership for a moment. Let's go over the card first. Now this is the card that was advertised. We had Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley live. We had a tag team match. Serena Deeb and Mariah May versus Queen Amita and I think her name, I'm trying to think what's her name. Her name is Yuka Sakazaki. Then you got the Young Sucks and Okada versus Will Ospreay, Takeshita. I don't like his name. I don't like Moore's name. I can't pronounce it. I don't like him at all. Let's put it like that. And Kyle Fletcher in the trios match. It's funny, me and Good Brave were just talking about that. And that was the card. And let's go over the viewership for AEW. Let's go over that real quick. Let's see about the viewership. Viewership came in at a whopping 687,000. Their viewership dropped. The rating goes up as show finishes second on cable. So let's go over more depth into the AEW viewership for this week. It says rated viewership information are as follows. Wrestlenomics report the AEW Dynamite at September 18 drew 687,000. The number's down from 716,000 for a show that drew last Wednesday. It was 0.2 in demographic. It's up from 0.21. That's good. They finished second on the cable, and they trailed Gutfeld on Fox News. So they was behind them as far as that goes. And like I said, let's go over highlights of AEW. Now we got here Ricochet. He had a one-on-one match. I don't think that was on the card. He faced you guys gotta excuse me. I don't know the names of all these AEW people because they're like nobodies. No one knows who they are. They don't have a prominent name. And I'm not talking about just because they wasn't in WWE previously. They just don't have a name. But he had a match. It was not bad. But Ricochet, I have to say, he keep wrestling like this style with AEW. They don't take precautions like WWE. He's gonna end up getting himself hurt. But this is a hot. I remember they did have a highlight match. Look how Ricochet came down. This could lead to injury later on, if not being precautious. I'm just saying. I hope nothing happens to Ricochet. Hope he has a very healthy and long career. But he did come down kind of weird.
The multi-man tag team match, right now. I mean, Ricochet, who's looking to climb the ranks here in AEW, maybe crashing down.
Y'all better slow down with that coming down like that, Ricochet. Ricochet, you what, 35 now? Let's slow down on that, please. Slow down. We don't have time for no injuries over there. Let's slow that down, coming down like that. That's the last thing we want is him to be on the injured list. So that right there puts you on the list.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, so let's slow that down a notch. Let's keep it at a minimum and start wrestling like that. But Ricochet, I mean, we'll talk more about that. This was a highlight of the show, one of the highlights. Now, another thing, they're set up for their shows as well. They do have, this setup. Ricochet, after this match, he came backstage. He talked to Will Ospreay. He challenged Will Ospreay for his AEW International Championship. 2 weeks from that. 2 weeks from this episode. They do have Grand Slam next week. The annual Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. But they do have the AEW 5-year anniversary the week after. And Ricochet has challenged Will Ospreay for his AEW International Championship. And it's going to be a good one. They finally get a one-on-one match. As usual, no story, no build. They just said we had a history. But yada, 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 yada. You wrestle me, I wrestle you. I want to prove to the world that I can beat you. Yada, yada, yada. I just don't like the whole no build thing. And it goes, again, they go on the list for that.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Now, we know Will Ospreay and Ricochet have a long history. We get all of that. We know that that's the whole case between these two. I'm just don't like how they're not building anything. We know that, build a real story. Don't just go off the pass and give them a match. You don't have to do that. You really don't. I would prefer them to keep it, a good story that we can remember. But seems like this may be one of the top matches on the 50th anniversary. And also, I am not a fan of why do they have to do an anniversary every year to celebrate Dynamite. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. I think it's way out of left field when they do it that way. So that needs to stop right there alone. But I think that's too much. I think it's reaching. I think it's really reaching when they do that. I think they have to stop that. You don't have to do that so much. So that's one thing I have noticed with AEW. They said they're working back with storyline. I'm trying my best to give them a chance, give them some time, but they got to get that together. No way, they definitely have to get that together. You don't have to do that all the time. Just build a proper storyline. But they said that match was announced during that episode. And of course, we had Grand Slam coming up. They talked about that. If you guys remember, I mentioned this last week. We do have matches here. We have Bryan Danielson. He's going to fight Nigel McGuinness for the AEW World Championship. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley for the Darby's AEW World Title his title shot on the line. And then you have Mariah May versus Yaka Sakazuki. Young Sucks versus Will Ospreay with Kyle Fletcher. So, Will Ospreay's grinding. He's working 2 weeks in a row. He's challenging for one title, and he's already champion for the other. Now, my guess, the Grand Slam, Will Ospreay and Kyle not going to win. Young Sucks will retain. Mariah May will retain her title. Bryan Danielson will retain his title. And maybe, I think Moxley's going to beat Darby because, Moxley wants to face Bryan. The Eternal Blackpool Combat Club. That's one way I would figure that. But they definitely have 2 events coming up. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, this was a tight viewership. Very tight viewership. Like I said, they're definitely setting up for 2 events here. Definitely setting up for 2 events. Now the question is, will these be great events? Will Grand Slam deliver? Will the 5-year anniversary Dynamite deliver? That remains to be seen. We will only tell, and I will cover that here. I would like to see if they can really hold up for 2 weeks in a row. I got to see how the viewership is going to be for next week with Grand Slam. Now they ought to have, I'm projecting at least 750,000 viewership to 800,000 since this is one of your big episodes. But I know it's AEW doing a lot of big episodes. You recently just had your what do they have recently? I mean, AEW always got a big episode every single week. It's like every single week they got a big episode. They got the 5-year anniversary in October. You got the Grand Slam episode. You also had your 250 episode. I think not too long ago. You had that episode. You have your it's always a special episode with Dynamite. When don't they have a special episode? That's my question. It's always special episodes of Dynamite. It's always one. You can't tell me when they don't. Every time I look up a special episode, almost for the past several months, they always got something big going on. I mean, let's be honest here. This year alone, let's talk 2024 with the special episodes of AEW Dynamite. Let's talk about it. Now, I know one of the episodes is Blood and Guts. They had that. That's one of their big episodes. And everything's so big with them. I mean, you had this beginning of the year, you had Homecoming. That did 0.7 viewers. Then you had Big Business. That was Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné debut. That was in March. You had Beach Break. That was in July. Then you had the 250 episode. That was in July. Blood and Guts the following week after that. Now we got Grand Slam. Then we have a Dynamite 5-year anniversary the week after Grand Slam. Then remember, we have Title Tuesday once again. Remember, we have that. So we going to have, this is really going to be a viewership war. Now, for that particular week, I'm going to try to cover AEW and NXT probably that Wednesday. Because if you remember, I showed it earlier. We have this here. This is AEW Title Tuesday, guys. So that's why Randy Orton's on this episode. It's in Missouri. It's the second episode of CW, but it's the same day as AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. So we do get this once a year. AEW and NXT will face off on the same night, same time. They'll go head to head. Now it looks like here they got Bryan Danielson. You got Swerve on the cover. You got Darby Allin. I see Willow Nightingale, Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, MJF, and Chris Statlander. They will be in Spokane, Wisconsin, wherever that's at. I don't know where that is, but they're going head to head. So this will be a real head to head. That's like I said, it's always special episodes. I'm not saying NXT don't do none either. They had their, they had the Great American Bash, on TV. They had of course the CW move to the network. I get it. But I'm just saying, for someone who's had special episodes all year with AEW, I've counted right now. Let's do the tally. You had 8 special episodes on this year, 2024. 8 special episodes on Dynamite, your premiere show. Now, out of eight special episodes for Dynamite, you would think they will pull a million viewership. You would think so. But the thing about it is, out of all those specials, the ones that's been aired already, I'm not talking about Title Tuesday, Grand Slam, or the 5-year anniversary, they have not pulled a million that one time. They never reached a million viewers. Never. They barely reached 800,000. Now that says a lot. Never reached 1 million viewership all year. This is your best show. The whole year. Never reached it. Not one time. With all these big shows you have. We already know what list that's going to go on without shopping out.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, this is not good, AEW. Now, I understand you're trying to improve, try to do everything with storyline, get things better, but this is not better. So, they gotta have a system that's going to work. They really got to have a system that's going to work. And once they do, I think they'll be fine. But I think they need to tone down on the special episodes. Stop doing so many special episodes back to back. I don't have a problem doing special episodes. But if you look at the history, in the month of July, you literally had 3 specials. You had Beach Break, Dynamite 250, and Blood and Guts, and all within real weeks of each other. It's only 4 weeks in a month. 3 of those weeks you have special, and neither one of those episodes can reach a million. Now we have Grand Slam. Grand Slam, Dynamite 5-year anniversary, Title Tuesday, all 3 weeks back to back. Why does AEW do that back to back specials? Why? Why do they do that? You're really what's what I'm looking for? You're really congesting the fans with that. You don't have to do a special episode a week. Spread it out a little bit. Please spread it out. You just gotta spread it out, man. I mean, you don't have to have a special like that every single week. That's my problem with AEW as well. I looked this last week. I said, why do they have a special almost every week? And you do it back to back. You never now. Don't get me wrong. NXT is doing it with the CW October 1st and October 8th, but that's different. They don't do it like that often. Except just the TV special PLE, like Great American Bash. That's an event. They do this all the time. Now, they do it October 1st because, as we know, that is the debut on a new network. And they're doing October 8th episode because it is Title Tuesday. They are going head to head. But AEW, you always have a special back to back to back. And I think your numbers show why you shouldn't be doing that, because you are going to bore the fans. You got to stop acting like every week is open mic night, AEW. Take notes.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
You got to calm down with that, AEW. That's not good. That's not good at all. That got to slow that down. Turn it down a notch. I mean, if you're going to do a special, do one at the beginning of the month and do one probably the next month or next 2 months down the line. Because that's why you don't have a proper build on story. Because how can you have a story for your characters and it's all a special episode every single week, back to back to back to back to back? There's no way you can build a story doing that. Now I see why you have no storyline. It makes sense why. You can't build a story like that. No story if there's no spacing. You do not space your episodes out. Not just the story and spacing with the episodes of Dynamite. You do the same with your pay-per-views. You had a pay-per-view called AEW All in August, the last week of August, the last Sunday that I might add, and then the following week you had All Out. How can you do that? How can I properly build a story in this back-to-back? There's no way you could do that. And if you do have a story going on, there's no way it can happen. There's no way. You can't tell me otherwise. There's no story behind it. Even Ricochet, he doesn't realize yet Ricochet is slowly deteriorating. All the matches he's been in is no story, no space in between, no build. He's having a match and that's it. It's no good. That's no good at all. Very true. They said they wouldn't be like WWE. Now look. Yeah, they definitely. It's just too fast. And I liked AEW when they wasn't doing things that way. And that's why I'm so upset. Like, why do you do your stories that way? You don't have to build like that. You could give it some time. I mean, that's one reason why the AEW World Championship title picture of MJF last year, Adam Cole, was good before Adam Cole got hurt because it was a story build. Very good story. It's not doing that now. All you're doing is giving us rush matches, rush feuds, no build. You guys think we done? You can't fool us with that. We see what you guys are doing, and we see how y'all move.
What you need to do is stop playing. You might have all these crusty, dusty musties tricked, but you ain't tricking us.
You don't have to. You cannot trick us that way. We know when you build a story, and we know when you're not. Why risk injury? Exactly. There's no story, then promo only. Exactly. Why do things that way? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why do you have to do things that way? I don't see how it makes any sense whatsoever. That's not how you build characters. That's not how you build a feud. And you already got all those titles over there, but you don't know how to build the titles. You got a whole bunch of useless titles that shouldn't be there. I mean, you got to let things be organic over there. AEW do not let stuff be organic. They don't. And if they think that we're going to buy into their product, having a pay-per-view every month, having these specials every other week, they think we're going to buy in that way, you got another thing coming because we're not going for that. Nah. We're not doing that. We're not going to buy into it that way. We're going to have a proper way to build. We need build here. Why do you think NXT right now, this story with Julia and Roxanne, despite these two never had a match, they're building for the October 1st episode of CW debut? It's doing good because there is building. That's how you build something. And you see how she was going to attack Julia and CM Punk stop it? This is how you build. This is how you build on a show. You don't rush everything. You build that way. Even Lyra and Tatum Paxley, with Lyra returning to NXT for the limited time only, it's still building. You're building tag team. You're building stories. You're just building. I do not see that here with AEW. This is how you build. I could give you 3 stories right now in NXT where they're building something. From the NXT Championship picture, NXT Women's Championship picture, even the NXT Tag Team Championship picture. They're building a story. They just do not do that over here in AEW. There's no story here, no spacing whatsoever. And this happens all the time with them. All the time. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of seeing this with AEW. And it's so disappointing because you got all these athletes over here. They're making top dollar. You got all these big contracts. They're on TV every week, at least majority of them. And we're not getting our money's worth out of these shows. And we definitely not getting them out of the pay-per-views. I mean, it's getting to the point now, and I asked myself this question. It's getting to the point. It's AEW. Are they even worth the money for pay-per-views anymore? Are they even worth the money anymore? Is it worth it? I mean, you tell me otherwise. The ratings go down. They getting ready for 2 big events in the next 2 weeks, and your viewership drops. Come on, it's even worth the money. Do you want to take 50 hard-earned dollars of your money, whatever you do for a living, whatever your line of work is? Do you want to do that and invest into a company who does not build stories? You just have a one quick off match, who want a quick 5-star match, and they're going to give you something that you can remember for a long term. Is it worth the money for that? And I'll give you my answer right now. No, it's not worth the money anymore. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not. It's not worth the money. I don't think so. I don't think it's worth the money anymore at all. I think it's a waste. I think AEW needs to go back to the drawing board. Stop trying to rush it's like, I feel like WWE, the best comparison to this, this is the best way I can compare it to. When I see both of these shows every single week, when I see this, NXT is like you put food into the oven or broiler or air fryer. You put a timer on it, you let it settle, you let it cook, you let season in there, you let it cook, you let it build up. When it's ready to come out of oven or broiler or air fryer, it's fully cooked. It's not cooked raw. It's not overcooked. It's cooked just right. When it comes to AEW, everything is microwavable. It's on for 1 minute, or 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. And it comes out, yes, it's hot and fresh, sizzling, but it's not quality. That's the best way to compare it. That's how I feel when I watch these shows. I mean, NXT is oven-based product. When you cook it. AEW is microwavable. And I'm thinking about that right now. I didn't see this online. I didn't hear nobody say it. This is me. That's how I feel how this product is. NXT is oven-based. It's something in the oven. AEW is microwavable. You can see it every single week. What's the comparison? What's the analogy? Just like I said a few minutes ago, AEW is quick storylines. It's a quick one-off match, quick spots, quick 5-star, like a microwave, real quick. No build, no story, no nothing. NXT, however, you got something that's slowly building from the top to the bottom. We saw the ins and outs. We saw where it was going to go, and it didn't go that way that time. But it did. It shifted over. A lot of twisted turns, a lot of turning points. Pretty much like cooking in the oven. It may be ready, but it's not. You got to flip it over, let it sit for a few more minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. Then when it's ready, it's gonna be ready. That's how these shows are every single week, and they really need to step it up. They really need to step this up. That's how it is when it comes to cooking equivalent to the product. Like I said, if they don't get better, it's gonna really show. And I would hate for that to see that happening. So when I think of NXT, I'm thinking of cooking things in the oven. When I think of AEW Dynamite, I think of microwavable cooking. Stuff you put in a microwave. They don't take much time to cook because everything is on the go. It's rushed. That's how I see these products every single week. And it's been like this every single week for the past several months now. So AEW, step it up, please. You have the talent there. You have the roster. Use them right. Don't let everybody sit on the sideline. That's all I got to say regarding that. And this is when it comes down to it. I think if AEW does start cooking stuff in an oven, then we could talk, because I would like to see more situations where it's really a true competition like this, for example. That could be a head-to-head thing. If not, it's just going to be one-sided all the time. And that's all I have regarding who won the close wrestling ratings war. We're talking about NXT vs. Dynamite, which show took it to the top. And NXT took it to the top as always. AEW is slowly trying to get there. You're struggling. You guys let me know what you think of NXT versus AEW. We're talking about for the week of September, the episodes of September 18th for AEW, September 17th for NXT. Soon to videos will pop up. You guys click the links below. We got SmackDown coming up. Covered WWE SmackDown who just returned to the USA Network. We'll cover that as usual. You guys already know how we do. This is Red Carpet Rain, and I'm signing out. I'm signing on the OUT. You guys already know what it is.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.